It's your girl, Yvonne Michelle, and we are back. Yes, we are. And in my excitement, I forgot to do a few things. So, whilst everybody is coming in, what I am going to do is ask you to share, and share again with all of your groups, all the people, your friend them, your frenemy them, everybody, everybody. I want you to share. This is the first of the season. I am so excited to be here. We were supposed to have started on the 22nd of the 2nd, 22. We had everything ready to go. And then something happened. Yes, it did. Something happened. And I'm not going to tell you what that is for now, but I will tell you in the weeks coming what has actually transpired. It was a matter of security that I needed to stop, withhold, abandon any form of live work, live posting, just as a matter of security. And so now I can say that it's safe to do so, and we are back. Yes. This show was previously called the After Dark Talk. Yes, it was. But we have rebranded the show my name because we may as well. So, I'm branding everything, getting everything ready to move forward. This is a reset, a reframe. This is a revitalization of everything, Yvonne Michelle. So this evening, I'm going to say good evening. Do remember to use the chat tonight. Do remember to tell your friends and everybody to come on and join us. You can join us live on Facebook, or you can join us live on YouTube. We also have our group there on Facebook as well. So we are ready to go. But before we get into the show, I've got something to show you. Yes, it's this. Shame I didn't take off the price. Drink. But we are celebrating today. We are absolutely celebrating. It is International Women's Day. And I am a woman. Hear me roar. I am a woman. I am strong and powerful and mighty. And I have got some amazing guests with me this evening. We are global tonight. We are global. We've got people here from all over the world saying hello. Good evening. How are you, my darling? Listen, this lady is coming on to talk to us about what she does as well. So yes, my darling, thank you. So as I said, this is a celebration. It is. We are celebrating. We started this show in lockdown when we had to stay in our homes, and what was it? It was like a meet-up group. Yeah, many arguments over relationships, many a word said. There were some real good things that were said as well. And whoa, we can't afford to waste any. It's got to go down my throat. Anyway, so we are celebrating. Season 3 of our talk show. We are celebrating International Women's Day. Yes, we are. And we are also celebrating freedom. Freedom of what, Yvonne Michelle? Freedom to talk the thing. That is what the freedom is. So I've got some lovely guests joining me today, and they're going to be jumping in shortly. I'm going to be introducing them. Now, tonight's show is a very special show because it's a spotlight show, and so I am spotlighting some of the women that I've been working with over the last couple of years. And finding out what they're doing, how they're playing in the world. And we're going to be discussing how we are navigating these businesses and creating healthy, meaningful relationships. Because remember, at the basis of this show, it's about relationships. Next week, we've got Red Letter. Let me just remind you what Red Letter is. Red Letter Tuesdays are where you, the members who watch the show, write in, email me, and you ask a question about your relationship. It can be any question, and we will try to answer and coach you through to creating a healthy, more vibrant relationship. All right. So without further ado, gosh, are you excited? Listen, guys, show me some love there on Facebook now. Please, come on now. Come on, you can do better than that. You can show a lady some love. Yes, you can. So I'm going to be reading out your comments as well. So do remember, you have the comment thread there. If you have a comment, if you have a question for any of my guests, if you have a question for me, put it on the comment thread and I will read it out and my guests will show you. They'll show you their expertise and give you an answer. So guys, without further ado, I'm going to bring my first guest in. We need to check and make sure that her sound is working. So I'm going to bring in Melissa. Now Melissa, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Melissa before she comes in. Melissa is an author. She's going to tell you about herself anyway. But we met online. Yes, we did. But this was I think that's the right word, COVID. And Melissa had written her first book, Beautiful Mess. And I was putting on an event in Barbados. It was called Her Story. And we connected so well. Melissa said she was coming to Barbados. She came out to Barbados. She was one of the speakers at the event. And who knows, maybe next year, this time, we will be back in Barbados. Who knows? The world is in trouble. We don't know what's going on. But we can only have the intention to do something fabulous. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to bring in my first guest. Melissa!
That was bad.
That was. Let me see.
That was bad. That was bad.
Okay, I think.
Hold on.
Okay, right. So we've got two. I've got two of you, Melissa. I've got two of you. So if you come out of the other one, then it might. If you leave the other one, it might. Okay, because the other one is not muted. Ah. Okay, let's do that. Come back in now. Let's see. Because I can see you, but I can't hear you.
You can hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Hold on.
Okay, so you need to come out. You come out. Oh, okay. Right, so I've removed from what I'm going to do while Melissa sorts out, because she is in the States, we're going to bring in lovely Sheena. Hello, Sheena. Right, you're muted, so we need to unmute.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yes. Right, so Melissa, you've got two feeds going. So if you log out completely, come out and come back in, and let's see if we can get that working. But whilst Melissa is doing that, let's speak to my girl Sheena. How you doing, girl?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm wonderful. You know, you're looking very fabulous this evening. You know.
Well, you know what? You look fabulous yourself, as always, and it is Women's International Day, so why not?
That's it. We've got to represent, right? We've got to represent. So, Sheena. Now, Sheena has been working with me since the pandemic, but we knew each other before. We had come across each other a few times before, many years ago when I did gospel at the pub back in the day in Bedford. Used to run.
It's been a long time now.
It has indeed. And
Yeah.
then the pandemic happened.
The pandemic happened.
Yeah. And well, before the
And
pandemic, I was working with your son, wasn't I? I was working with one
yes.
of your sons, and I was just reminding you the other day of when we went out on a canoe, because I used to work with young people, and
And
David
now we
was
tipped it.
tilting it and really having a laugh, and I didn't find it funny at the time. Yeah.
Oh well, at least you can laugh about it now.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So Melissa, I'm just going to tell Melissa, you've come back in twice. So whatever you did just a minute ago, come back out, because there was one of you first a minute ago. I don't know which one it is, and I cannot lip read. Anyway, right, I'm going to move forward. So Sheena,
Yes.
in the pandemic, we started this after dark thing here. We
Mm.
started. And in the midst of that, I was doing morning inspiration. And we were talking about helping people to use a side hustle to create another income.
Yep.
And to, if you had a business idea, if you wanted to do something, and then you jumped on board, joined in. And now, Sheena, I want you to tell the listeners what has happened, what has transpired since lockdown to now. You got like 3 minutes to just let people know what you are doing.
Well, since the lockdown, I became a business owner, CEO of my own business, where I manufacture my own body butters and hair oils, all natural products made with shea butters, top products. And yeah, how that started off basically was I was put on shielding at home due to my health, so I couldn't go nowhere. I wasn't allowed out. They even said I wasn't even allowed in the garden at one point. So I said, all right, I've got to do something before I turn stir crazy. So I was already making cream before that. And I thought, why not probe into it a bit more and take it a bit more serious? And I started to, I noticed that, my partner's skin, didn't matter what cream he was using, nothing was working. And that included Astral, Nivea, Palmer's. Yeah.
Astral, I've got to stop you there.
Yeah.
Everybody from the African Caribbean community can relate to Astral.
Astral.
Because that was my go-to cream.
Yeah.
It really was until.
Yeah. So them creams would only work for a short while, as we know. And if your skin's really dry, it will work for a couple hours if you're lucky, before the heel back and everything starts to dry up again. So I thought, no, let me look into that. So I started to do some research and look into different oils and how I could mix and blend them. And hence now I have my business, which is, I do everything from home. So it's a small business, do everything from home, but I'm online, because I can be found online on www.shishisnaturalproducts.com.
Fantastic.
Okay? So you can find me on there. Failing that, you'll find me on Facebook, Instagram. So again, just look for Shishi's Natural Hair and Body Care on Facebook and on Instagram also. So I'm there. I'm on Google. You'll find me. So if you're interested in purchasing, I can't even say which way it is.
There it is. Push it forward a bit. That's it. Lovely. A bit more.
So this is the strawberry blackberry vanilla body butter, and this has been tested. And this helps skin, especially for those who have like very dry skin, eczema, psoriasis. It won't cure the problem. All it will do is ease the problem, make your skin a bit more breathable. Plus, you'll have nice glowing skin, and your skin's important.
Like mine.
This is the hair oil. Okay. Oh, where are we going? Can you see it?
Yeah. Other way. That's it. That's the hand. That's it.
Yeah. All right, so that's the rosemary, tea tree, and blackberry hair oil. This is actually my favourite. I'm not going to lie to you. And it is beautiful. Makes the hair very soft, especially your roots. Because like sometimes we get really dry roots. and so forth. It just, yeah, it just eases everything. Yeah. Makes it nice, healthy, plus gives it a really nice smell. And you can't get this scent in the shop. You can't get it in the shop.
It's exclusive. So, thank you, Sheena. So, Sheena is one of my ladies, one of my fabulous ladies in my academy, and we've been working together. And Sheena is building her business, she's building her brand, and she's rebuilding, reshaping, restructuring, resetting her life. Now, this has an impact on everything. So, we know that this show is fundamentally about relationships, and sometimes you just need a little something else to occupy you, to stop yaring in the relationship. Sometimes not. But what Sheena has done has actually created a new pathway for herself. So I'm super, 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 super proud. And as it is International Women's Day, I thought, you know what? I need to spotlight some of my ladies who are doing exceptionally well, and let the world know, let my people know that these are the people that are working with me, that people are moving forward, they are marching forth and really reclaiming what they want out of their own lives. So if that's you and you want to reclaim, you want to do something fabulous, then contact me. My details come up on the screen throughout the show. You'll see that. And we are going to be discussing relationships shortly. We are, because I want to now try and bring in Melissa. So Sheena, I'm going to take you, I'll put you back in the green room, but I'm going to bring you back out because I want us to have this open and candid conversation, because we are business owners, we are powerful women, and it is International Women's Day. And there's a question that I'm going to pose to both you women. I think Zena is supposed to be, but she's having internet issues. She'll jump on when she can and we'll take it from there. So I'm going to bring Melissa back in, and hopefully we'll be able to hear her. Can you hear me?
A little bit. It's a little hard, but I can hear you. So
wonderful. Welcome. Now, guys, you would have heard me talk about Melissa. For those of you who are just joining the show, this is the Yvonne Michelle Show. It was previously After Dark Talk. We are still talking After Dark. We are still talking relationships. We've just reshaped, fragmented the show. So we've got Melissa here, all the way from America. We worked together. We went to Barbados together in 2020. We did the Her Story conference out there. It was amazing. Both of us had I traveled to Barbados before, but I think it was your first time, Melissa, wasn't it?
was my first time in Barbados. Yes.
Yes, it was.
It was amazing.
It really was. So hopefully, who knows, next year, who knows, we may be able to take Her Story UK, our story. I call it our story now, more than her story, because I think we have to create balance and let people know that actually this is not just about my story as a female, but it's our story.
That's right.
In all walks of life, and we can tap into those little bits and pieces from each other's lives to help elevate and move ourselves forward. So today, Melissa, you wrote a book called Beautiful Mess.
I did.
And tell us a little bit about that, because I want you to tell us about the new book, The Reset, and what's going on with you.
So Beautiful Mess was written when I was learning how to not let the things that had happened to me define myself going forward, because I had let things in the past be my definition, whether I was divorced or a child of suicide, whatever it was, I let that define me rather than loving myself and realizing that what happened to me didn't make that a descriptor of me. So it was a challenging story to write because it's very personal. It's very raw. It went over really well. A lot of people really resonated with it. So I was really terribly excited about all of the opportunities that I had. And I started writing a couple other books as I was coming down here to Florida. And I had one completed actually, and it was ready to go, but I stepped away from it for a while just to handle some things. And Reset came about because I found myself in the same old patterns, doing the same things that I had done before and getting very upset with myself about it, and didn't want to talk to people, didn't want to share my experiences because I felt unqualified. I felt like it wasn't right for me to do that because everything I had written about that I thought I'd overcome, I was right back in it. And it was a struggle.
Okay. So you've got this new book called The Reset.
What's that?
You've got the new book called The Reset.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about The Reset and what's happening.
So Reset is a great book for anybody that finds themselves struggling with the same thing over and over. It has questions at the end of every chapter to kind of get you involved in the book. I show different scenarios. I talk about different struggles that I've had, how I overcame them, and how other people can. But I also probe so that you can find out what works for you. I talk about how you have to stop lying to yourself, how you have to commit to yourself, how you have to love yourself, and how to do that, because those are all vital in making changes. You have to look within. You can't play the victim and say that everything is just happening to you and it's beyond your control, because that's not true. We have the power in our life to change it. So we just have to choose to.
We do. And as a result of you've been doing lots and lots of interviews, I know that we've done some speaker coaching a few months ago, and you're just flying. I just see post upon post upon post. Oh, I'm here, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing. It's just incredible to see you grow and thrive.
It's been so incredible to do this, because it's like beyond everything I could think. I kind of, COVID hit right after we got back from Barbados, and I was so disappointed because I think I had 10 interviews or speaking engagements lined up, like actual conferences to go to and speak at, and I was all ready, and then that happened, and I got so bummed out, and it was really hard to recuperate from that, but I just kept kind of slowly doing it. I kept writing, and that's how Reset kind of came about. I was going to do You Are More, which is a body image book, and I still have a lot of that integrated into Reset, because that's one of the things that I struggle with. That's one of my patterns that I get caught in, and I have a hard time with, and it affects my relationship. And it's a huge problem in a relationship if you don't have a positive self-image.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It can be crippling, actually, in a relationship. If you don't know, and you don't have that self-love and that self-awareness of yourself, it can actually be critical to a relationship. And so tonight we're going to be talking about the woman in me, and specifically about relationships and how we navigate as women in our relationships. Now, I've got both you and Sheena. Z's not here. Z's a younger lady, and so she was going to come from a younger woman's perspective. But I wanted to get your perspective from being in America, Sheena's perspective from being in the UK. Sheena is in a relationship. Yourself, are you still single, darling?
I can barely hear you.
I'm sorry. Are you still single?
I am very, very single. Yes, very single.
Okay. So I'll make sure that I am using my mouth very well so you can understand me.
I decided last fall, there was some health stuff that I had to deal with, some things that were just going on, and emotionally it was best for me to just focus on me and to heal. I knew that I wasn't bringing things to a relationship that I was proud of, and I wanted to change that about myself. So I have been single since September, and just kind of doing my thing.
Okay, lovely. Thank you for that. We have many, many single people on this chat in our groups. We're talking about relationships, and this was one of the things that was highlighted at the height of the pandemic, because so many people were alone.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, how are we going to navigate that? How are we going to find new relationships within a small community? So we started this show. We've had many a hot topic on this show, loads of them, from sex to sex toys to lingerie to, you know, why men certain men don't respect women, why women don't respect certain men. You know, we've had so many different topics to cover, and we're going to go right over them again. We're going to start speaking. And as we move forward with the show, one of the things that we are going to be highlighting is the breakdown of the family, because this, for me, is the most crucial conversation that we need to have. We need to start restoring our families and how we think about each other, man to woman, woman to man. We need to start really, forgiving each other, and two, to help us to move forward, because there is so much what seems to be hatred. And I use that word, and it might sound strong, but it's not strong, because of some of the things that I hear on social media that men are saying, that women are saying, especially the younger generation coming up after us. So I want us to have an open conversation tonight. We've got 30 minutes to thrash this out, and it's about the woman in me. What makes the woman in you, and what makes you, you know, attractive to men, and should we try to make ourselves attractive to men? Should we be a certain way to get into relationships, or should we just be ourselves anyway? So I'm going to bring in what I want you to do as well, and it's on the chat. If you could just put your information, your book information, where they can get the information, then we can load that up on. And that's the same with you, Sheena. I think I'm going to bring Sheena in now. Hello. And
Hello.
what we will do is put your details up. So if there is anybody who's listening to the show tonight that wants to be or wants to get your book, Melissa, that wants to buy your body butter, Sheena, that they've got a link to that. It's International Women's Day. This is the month of the woman, and we have to support each other. That's how it goes. Yeah, that's
exactly.
That's how we're doing.
Definitely.
That is it. So we are. This is the new Yvonne Michelle show. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. As we're going to do that, I'm going to just copy that. I am very, very grateful for you guys joining me tonight as we are talking about the woman in me. The woman in me, and what does that consist of? What does that look like? So I'm going to just put that in. There we go. I've just put your website into the chat, and Sheena, if you send yours over, I will do the same for you. So guys, those of you who are listening, please do support. These are two powerhouse women who have got totally different lives, but are walking on the same path of greatness. And I think that's absolutely awesome. And I'm so privileged to have you guys here with me tonight. You guys are absolutely fantastic. I love you. I love you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Oh, so the woman in you. So Sheena, I know that you are. Tell us about the woman in you. What makes the woman in you, and what makes, because you are in a relationship. So what makes that defining thing, that defining on for the man? I'm going there for the man. What makes you Sheena? What makes you Sheena?
My smile.
Come on now.
My eyes are direct, so when I'm communicating, I communicate with my eyes.
Okay.
So that's important as well. When you're actually looking at that person, you know, I think for a man, they like, it really is about your body language and how you communicate. And men like women who are quite, you know, good at having a conversation, so to speak. Where the woman has to be smart, though, is understanding the man. You know, like for instance, if it's football night, I'll get to the defining me in a bit. But if it's football or boxing, leave them to watch their football and boxing. Take that chance to go and chill with your friends, or, you know, go and sit in the bar with your friend, or get your nails or your hair done. Do your thing. Yeah, that's his time, so you have your time. So for me, like I said, my smile defines me, my personality, and I'm quite open-minded. So I like comedy, but I like someone who can actually, you know, give me a good conversation as well. So I can speak for hours and end. It doesn't matter. Could be watching a movie, but patience. I'm patient. That has grown over time.
I love the honesty. That's grown over time. It wasn't.
Yeah, it has grown over time, because in the beginning, you know, I was, don't talk to me like that. Who do you think you are? What? Shut up. You know, it was like that. And then it got to the stage where it'd be like, would you like a cup of tea? 2 sugars? Do you want milk in there? Just to, you know, could be rolling the eyes behind the back, as long as, you know. And then eventually I just learned to have patience and calmity, and just, you know, recognize when he's stressed or when he's had a bad day, and then just know to give him time out. And, you know, just be real. But if, as a woman, if you want the relationship to work and to you know, go on for many years to come, it really is about being able to trust each other, be honest, be trustworthy as well. Don't leave room for your man to be suspicious, or vice versa. You know, be honest with each other. If you're going to go to the shop, you know, and he goes, where you going? Oh, I'm just going to go and down the shop. You want anything? You know? And then, you know, it's just about being honest. And the more time, you know, the more conversations you have with each other, is the more you get to know each other, and the more the love and the trust and everything grows as well. But don't be under your man's armpit every minute, you know, ringing off his phone because he hasn't answered the phone. He might be sleeping, he might be busy. Just leave it. If he's interested in you, he'll come back to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't chase, man.
Melissa, do you want to come in and answer?
I don't chase, man.
I'm trying to get this phone. I came inside so I could hear you, and I can hear you much better, but I'm having a hard time with my camera. I agree. Don't chase men ever, because I've been guilty of that in the past, and trying to win their love and trying to change me in order to get the relationship that I want. And I end up being hurt in the long run. So that's part of one of my books, actually, is talking about how you have to look within. You have to love yourself. You can't look at getting validation from somebody else. You have to have it within. So
definitely. Yeah, you got to love yourself. If you don't love you, don't expect anyone else to love you, let alone like you. You know, it's about you liking, you loving yourself, you recognizing, you know, do like a pros and cons list. You know, I do it sometimes. I might be sharp with somebody, and then next minute it's a case of, right, I need to check myself. You know, I think I handled my man a bit tough. Then I have to sit down and say, you know what? I shouldn't have gone there. I shouldn't have gone there. And then I'm a Gemini, yes. I don't really like saying sorry. I really don't. But I will say sorry. You know, when I know I'm wrong, it burns me that I'm wrong. But when I know I'm wrong, I will go and humbly apologize. You know, but peace, it's important. Peace and tranquility. You have to be at peace with yourself first before you can even request it in your relationship. You can't ask for something that you're not willing to do for yourself.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line. That's how I've managed to survive. We've just got a very open, our relationship is just excellent, really. We talk, watch movies, run joke. Even when Boris had his moment when he was trying to ban everyone from seeing their partners, and we said the Pum Pum Police.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Pum Pum.
We laughed. I mean, obviously, when he come out, when he said that on the news, we just sat there and laughed and said, "Is my man having a laugh?" And we were just rolling. I said, no, that's not going to happen. No way, no way. That's not going to happen. Next.
Yeah.
And every time we had a debate on the news, we just cracked up. Foolishness.
It was foolishness, but the thing is, a lot of people went by the guidelines. They did adhere to it, and hence why, not to change the subject because we're going to go right back, but hence the reason why Boris Johnson was in a lot of problems in the UK, because whilst he was telling everybody they can't do this and they can't do that, he was having parties. Not one, not two, not three, not five, many parties. And
he's just a raver. He's a raver.
He's a, you know what I mean? He's a,
he's a raver. He's a raver. He's a raver.
He was. And so, as a result of that, many people got fined. I don't know if you know, many people got fined because they had people in their gardens or what have you not. And so now they're asking for that fine to be paid back and compensation because of it's just ridiculous. You can't be the leader and then say, well, I didn't know. You made the rule. You made the rule. And then you say, well, I didn't know that I wasn't allowed to have parties. Ridiculous. Anyway.
Bless him.
Anyway, so good old Boris Johnson, we had said we couldn't come together, and many people have struggled. Many people, we've had so many, the suicide rates have gone up. We will be talking, we're doing a show on that specifically about suicide and how the impact of the pandemic has had. But I also we're also going to be talking about how the pandemic has had an effect on families as well, relationships, and being able to people not being able to navigate their emotions through that time and have taken the option to end their lives. This is a really, really difficult and strange period of time that we are living in. So I think we need to be talking about these things. We need to be encouraging people to talk more, to be on platforms like this. And this is why After Dark Talk started, was to give people a place to come and talk. And just because it started out for single people, but we had married people, people living together, all different types of relationships, watching the show, from heterosexual to lesbian relationship to gay relationship. We've had a lot of different types of people just because they needed somewhere to be. And so as we are powerful women, as we stand as three powerful women in our relationships, whether we are in a love relationship or we have other relationships in our lives, we are here today on this International Women's Day, talking about the woman in us, what makes us women, what makes us attractive, what makes us who we are, what are the components that actually make us up as human beings, to make, are we doing things out of the ordinary to make ourselves feel and seem more attractive, or are we really engaging with ourselves? Are we really doing the work? I've got a message. There's a message here from Dorota, and she says, if we are looking for anything externally, if it's appreciation, praise, or even love, we have to give it to ourselves first. Once this void is filled, we will be able to create true relationships and partnerships. Absolutely. Real relationship starts within. It starts with me. So everybody that's on here, I want you to type in there. I do this all the time. Everything starts with me. And when I say me, I don't mean me. I mean you. This is what you're saying to yourself. Everything starts with me. That is what you are saying. I'm just going to put that in here. So I want you to put that in the chat. Put that in the chat. And as we've got Sheena's website details are there. So if you would like to have beautiful skin like mine, then you will buy.
And you know what it's good for as well? Massaging the body.
Oh yes, well, I have to find,
massaging the body.
I need some of that going on.
Yeah.
In the region.
We all need some of that.
In the regions, you know, we need a little, you know,
caressing in it.
Little caressment. Yes, caressment. We need some caressment. So, everything starts with me, and it does. It really does. So if we want to have these relationships, and this is something that I talk about, this is something that we cover at the R retreat, which is coming back on the 21st of May. By the way, the 21st of May, we have another R retreat. It's a one-day retreat. It's going to be a lot more fabulous. We're going to have live music. It's going to be absolutely stupendous. So that's on the 21st of May, and the tickets will go on sale probably by the last week in March. So I'm just letting you know that we have the R retreat coming back soon. It's happening in London, same venue, a different room, a bigger room, and it's going to be absolutely incredible. Yes.
Excellent.
Yes. So going back to topic, what makes the woman? Who is the woman in me? Who is the woman in you? And on what makes that attractive? So I'm going to fly over to America now. I wish I could do that literally, but not. So I'm going to fly over to America and see what Melissa's saying. You know, in terms of what are the key? If you could give 3 or even 1 to 3 keys of how to show the woman in you that you are aligned and ready for a relationship, what would that be? What would that look like?
I think the biggest thing is confidence. It's knowing who you are and being comfortable in your own skin. And knowing that we all have our own uniqueness. We don't have to compare. We're so good to compare ourselves to everybody else and what's going on over here and what's going on over there. And it's just not fair to us. So I think that you have to know who you are. You have to love who you are. You have to embrace every aspect of you. You have to be willing to have an open mind, like Sheena said, and forgive and see their point. You have to be strong enough in and of yourself to do the things on your own, so that when you come together, you're just that much stronger. It's not like, sometimes people say it's like 2 broken people make a whole person, but that's not really true. I think 2 whole people make 1 whole couple. I think that's how it works. Not, you have to look at yourself not as broken and not as you need to be fixed. And definitely don't look at them like they need to be fixed, because then you're really in trouble.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm a fixer, and I cannot fix this camera for anything. Every time I turn it, I'm off camera. So maybe I'm not supposed to be on camera, girls.
We can see you.
I think that in order to have a healthy relationship, you have to have it with yourself first. And that's the biggest thing. And I think that's why I kind of decided to just do me for a little while, because I knew that I was trying to get too much from my relationships. I was trying to get almost everything, and that's not healthy. I have a really good friend, and we banter back and forth, and he's a male, and we were talking about doing a book called He Said, She Said, because we have such different perspectives, and it's so helpful to just have a good friend to just give you a better perspective, because sometimes I think I get off in my thinking, and I'm very one-sided. So I try to have an open mind for change and not think that everybody's going to respond to things the same way I do.
Yeah. Do you think that's a common thing for women, that we think it should be our way? And I'm just asking.
Sometimes, yeah, I do. I think that, I think a lot of people, we get our feelings hurt. And the reason our feelings are hurt is because we expect people to treat us the way we treat them. But everybody has a different perspective in life. Everybody has a different story and a different past. So we're all going to respond differently to each other. But it doesn't make it wrong. It's just different.
Absolutely. Sheena, what do you think?
Sorry, repeat the question.
I said, do you think it's a woman thing that we think that it should be our way? Really, they should think that, men should think the way that we think. Do you think this?
Yeah, we tend to try and get our own way. I know I do. But I do it in a nice way. Look, there's the wrong way. There's the...
And then there's Sheena's way.
Listen, let me just start that again. There's the right way and the wrong way of getting your own way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the wrong way is you demand and you got attitude and you start throw books and pans and whatever, and rice spill up on the walls. Do I sound like I'm talking from experience? Yes, I am. Right? Okay. So what year come out my mouth? This is more than likely because I've lived it or I've done it. Or okay, Melissa.
Yeah.
But yeah. So so and then it was all because I didn't get my own way. So I went doolally. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then I realized me doing that wasn't winning me any brownie points. So then I had to be nice to get my own way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's just, again, it's something that you learn over years. It's just having that respect, because technically I didn't have no respect. And if you ain't got no respect in a relationship, yeah, you got a problem. And I'll hold my hands up. I did not have respect in my relationship in the beginning. That's something I had to learn. And I think as well, how a lot of relationships can end up in problems is because the man might come across that, he's thinking, nah, you he loves you, but he wants you to do better. And his approach might be different in terms of how he speaks to you. But then it's about trying to figure out, well, actually, I need to just calm, because actually what he's saying is true. And then you start to look into yourself a bit more. And that's only if you actually feel that you want to be with that person and you love that person, that you want to do better. So to do things the right way, yes, you're going to come off better, but it's about having that respect. And then when you have that respect, you can get the hell what you want.
Drop the mic.
Yeah, but it's about having that respect,
that...
and you will have what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Because but then you have to be smart.
You're kind of
smart.
You're trying to, you almost kind of outdo each other. Like, you give him the respect, he gives you the love, and it's just kind of an exchange. And I totally agree with that, 100%.
Well, it's like, for instance, okay, as we're talking truths, if it's a case of, for instance, you're down a car, right? I'll give you an example. One time we were sharing a car, so it was just two adults in a car. I got lippy. I had to walk to work. Yeah. Then I didn't like the fact that I had to walk to work. My foot was burning me. I was vexed. It was cold. And my attitude was, I don't see why I should have to be walking. I'm going to get my car sorted out. Got my car sorted out. It was all good. But then I remembered the time when, because I got lippy and my lift got cancelled on me just straight away. Oh, sorry, I'm not going that way again, love. You're going to have to make your own way to work. I thought, no problem. That's when it's tit for tat. But then it's a case of you do, I do. So if you show me respect, I show you respect. So it's a two-way thing. So like you said earlier on, Melissa, about you both have to be whole. Yeah. Because if you're broken, the relationship will be broken as well. It will be toxic as well, because you're both leaning on each other to help me get over my drug problem, or help me get over my alcohol addiction, or the fact that I've got anger problems. You help me. it becomes a needy situation. So rather than it being a relationship that is loving, caring, you know, fun and, you know, adventurous, whatever, however your relationship is, it becomes a chore. You know, it's almost like when you come to your front door, a black clouds over your head because you know you've got to be dealing with all this drama again, and then you're trying to smile. You love the person, but you're not happy. There's a lot of women in relationships like that as well, and it's about trying to break that stigma that if you're not happy, if you feel this black cloud over your head, your relationship's in trouble. Either you talk about it or you move on. You have to call it a day for your own sanity as well.
And that's hard to do. It's hard to walk away when you love somebody, but you just know that it's not working.
Yeah.
That's a very hard place to be in, especially for me, because I'm like a bulldog and I get a hold of something and I just don't want to let go. Yeah.
So how do you do that? How do you let go? And Tony Cox is saying, what about the importance of roles within the relationship?
Yeah, look, man and woman, woman and man, right? You can't have woman wearing the trousers in the house and telling the man sit down, eat food, and don't talk, right? Equally, you can't have the man telling you that either. You know, it's having. You can have the roles. It's important for you each to know the role of the man, that he's the masculine, and he's like the protector. He's the, you know, he's the comforter. He's the one who is there. He shields the family, right? At the same time, the woman is going to be the home provider, the one who, you know, who's caring, who's submissive, you know, in terms of she's providing for a man in order for him to de-stress, bearing in mind that when a man's at work, they're thinking about bills, they're thinking about their family, they're thinking about you know, maybe they got to make sure that money's sitting tight in order to make sure that money's there, always there in case at the drop of a hat there's an emergency or they got to fly out the country that the missus has got. That, you know, being a man is stressful, and I have a whole heap of man friend to hear them conversations to know that it is stressful being a man, but it's also stressful being a woman. We give birth.
Okay.
You know,
and you drop the mic again. But I want to say this. I do want to say this. I want to kind of, because you know, this is a 1 hour show. We are trying to condense everything into 1 hour, and we've only got a few minutes left. However, when it comes to roles, what I want to say is this: is that between the two individuals, in my head, this is me. I'm not talking for anyone else. Between the two individuals, they have to decide who plays what role, because there are some roles that you may expect the man to do that he's not good at, and you're better at, and vice versa.
It's about recognizing, isn't it? It's about recognizing each other's strengths, and it's a partnership. So it's like, for instance, decorating. Not a lot of men are good at decorating, y'all.
No, but
okay.
But are you gonna wait for the man to decorate though? No.
So if you know you can do it, you just say, "It's all right, darling. I'll do that." You know, if you take the cars and just wash the cars and do what you're doing with the cars and make my car look nice, you know, that kind of thing. Or do you mind going to Aldi's for me? Why? Because I don't feel like it. That's me getting my own way again, right? But you know, you just sort of like, it's a partnership. So you know, if he's not strong in one area, don't sort of like blow light on it. Just recognize it and just, you know, and understand that, you know, your partner is, you know, isn't as great, or their confidence isn't as great in that area. You know, it's just, you know, and then as time go on, you can help them to build that confidence without each other, without even trying too hard, just through conversations and things that you do and places you go, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I think that, you know, just to answer Tony's question, I think that we got to be a little bit more broad-minded in terms of roles. Because the men used to take out the bin and the men used to go to work and the women used to stay at home. Those things have changed. The world has changed. We no longer do those things. We are both working. We've got women who are creating multi-million pound businesses and thriving, and they are the main earner within the family unit, and that sometimes can cause a little bit of, you know, issues because she's earning so much. And it's not just because you're earning more doesn't mean to say you can lord it over, but it just means that things have changed. The scales have tipped, you know, and so you've got to look at what can you do to help this situation? How are you gonna, what is your strength? And so when you've got two people that have got strength, I know that, you know, his strength might be to cook. He might be a damn bad cook. And I'll be like, for me, I'll be like, baby, you can cook anytime. And it's not because I can't cook. And it's not because I won't cook. It's because I don't really like it. It's not my thing. And I've got to be honest, I can cook very well. I've grown up children, but it's not
But don't you think though that's a lot to do? We've been doing it for so long now. It's just,
I'm otherwise minded. My mind is, how do I create business? How do I create income? How do I create? And it's not creating food. It's not that kind of food. It's food for the mind. What can I do? That's me. I'm entrepreneurial. So that's me. If I'm the head earner, then I'm the head earner. It don't mean nothing. It don't mean that you're less than. It just means that that's my bag. And your bag might be to take out the bin, and your bag might be to cook the dinner. Your bag might be to just rub me with Shishi's cocoa butter, right? It's not cocoa butter, vanilla butter. Rub my back and my butter and everything else. That might be your thing. You might be good at that. Do you see what I'm saying? So I hope that answered your question, Tony Cox. And we've got 3 minutes left. Director says, I feel that if the respect is there, getting things our own way is not that relevant. What do we think about that, ladies, as we're coming down to the end of the show? We're going to run over, but it doesn't matter. Go on.
it depends what you mean by not relevant.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
that's quite a broad one, isn't it?
I think that respect is it's caring enough about the other person to honor them, to appreciate them, to give them the love, the accolades that they need, that we all need. I think that's respect, and I think it is very relevant. Some people take the word respect and they make it into like, oh, I'm gonna idolize you, and you have more precedence over me. But I think that's not correct. I think that respect is mutual, and it's a flow between the two people.
Yeah.
Oh, I like
Definitely.
that.
Yeah, it has to flow. You have to gel. You have to, just entwine, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You just know how each other are. You just know how you both are, kind of thing. But yeah, respect. I mean, I've always said as well, hot, honest, open, trustworthy as well. That's key, and communication is key.
Absolutely.
To build that, just to keep the momentum going, just to keep that respect growing, that love growing. Communication is key. I might frig with my partner, and he might be watching telly, and I'll fling a cushion at him, just to be a pain in the neck, just do play things like that as well. And it's just just to remind him that I know you're there, I haven't forgotten you, love you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just respect, communication, just being open, honest, and trustworthy. That is the essence of a wonderful relationship, because then you from once you trust each other implicitly, you're best friends. It's a case of you can't wait to get home. You're like, guess what? I've got to tell you something. I've got to ring you now. What's your phone? And it's like today. That's the level I'm at with my relationship. Yeah. Where I can say, I've got something to tell you. It's really bad. Yeah. So that's where I'm at with my relationship. We're very close, but like I said, that has taken time. It has taken time, because we were both hurt from previous relationships. So it's taken time to trust again, you know, and now the trust is there 100. It's brilliant.
Okay. Do you think that the lack of trust, the lack of understanding, the lack of communication is really what's at the root of failing relationships today?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
And
Definitely.
how do we get that? I know we're going to run out of time, it's fine, but how do we get that back? Because as I said at the beginning of the show, for me, the fundamental thing is that for me that's missing and that's under attack is the family, is the household, right? Because when I say family, I mean mum, dad, children, household. You know, whether they've grown up and left or not, that the family, how do we get that back? How do we get the respect back? Because respect has been lost. It has been lost.
Mm.
You know,
That's a hard. It's a hard one. I mean, it really is about just leave. I had to just stop jumping every minute. My son's wanted to do something. I'd be like, no, don't do this. Come back in. Where are you? Why don't you come home yet? I was forever on them because I was more frightened about what could happen to them out on road. Yeah. And it was making me restless. I had to learn to back down, to back off, and adapt to the fact that they're no longer children, they're young men driving car and paying bills. So
that's terrifying.
I had to, and that was scary as hell. That in between, from them being teenagers to now they're like men with like goatees and thing, and it's like you know, I had to breathe, but because I know that they are solid and well spoken, and they both work really hard, and you know they've both got their own cars and so forth. You know, they're doing really well in their early 20s, and I sit back and I say, my God, I'm so proud of them. But it was hard work for me to achieve that, and a lot of it again was me having to sit back and learn to understand myself again, learn to understand how I communicate with them or with anyone in general, because it is really how you communicate as individuals, whether that be in a relationship, whether that be in the home. You know, it is about talking, and sometimes people don't hear. You just say, well, if you can't hear, you're going to feel them. But I did say.
You will. You definitely will. If you can, you will feel.
Did say. I said, yeah. So now it's the mom, I wish I listened to you. I said, yes, yes. So I try not to say, I told you. So I just say, yes, yes. I say, yes, you're fine out. Yeah.
I know.
But everybody has to grow and learn and do things for themselves, do it in their own way. And they're grown into young men. And their path is great. Their path is wonderful, the journey that they're on right now. As me, I just have to, I don't get involved in what they do no more, because as far as I'm concerned, my work is done. Yeah. So that brings it back to, I can now have more time for me. So part of my self-love is I'm back in the gym. So I'm all like doing spin class. My God, the first time I thought I was going to drop down. Spin class, body tone, hips, bums and tums, whatever, combat training, whatever. I will do. I will get into all of it now, because it's good for my mental health, and it also just makes me feel good, because I'm taking care about me. I'm looking after me. I'm important.
Self-care, absolutely.
And and I'm allowed to have that time, and my partner's always like, oh, yeah, man, you going there again tonight? Oh, good for you, girl. Because all he wants to do is sit down and spread it on the sofa. He'll have room to adjust, and that's his time out, and that's good, and that's what it's about: giving each other time, doing something that I like doing. He's doing something what he likes doing, and everyone's happy. Everyone's taking care, doing their own self-love. It's important. 100.
And it's about having choice. It's about choosing that choice as well. Melissa, what would you like to say on that, just as we're coming down to the end of the show?
So I think the best way to really regain trust is in small steps. You can't expect overnight, accolades and changes. And I think that sometimes we have to write down what we're afraid of the most, and look at it realistically and say, is this really something I should worry about? Or is this something that's triggering me from a past relationship or a past hurt? And I'm putting it and I'm, projecting it on this person I'm with now, or it could be the same person, but I'm using, I found a lot of times that I would respond out of a previous situation to a present problem, and you can't do that. That destroys trust. And so you have to, it's internal, if you're with somebody and you're afraid they're texting somebody that, you don't want them to text, you have to go, have they ever given me a reason to feel this way? Or is this from something else?
I love that.
It's all, it starts with you. And then as you get the trust, then they give the trust. And then it's that ebb and flow in a relationship. And I think it's a dance. So
it's a waltz. Yes, it certainly is. I love what you say, that, your art is the things, the feelings, the thoughts, the emotions that you're feeling. Are they based on what's happening now? Or are they based on something that's happened before, that's already behind you?
Exactly.
That you can't see, but it's right there in the front of your face. Even though it's behind you, it's triggered you. And so these are the things that we need to really address, men and women, not just women, men and women, because there's so many things that trigger us. A woman might say, oh, I didn't mean to say that, but, I thought of this. Or a man might say, I didn't see that coming and I got angry and I don't know why. There's an emotion.
Right.
That has been triggered. And this is why we're having this show. This show is for people who are 40 plus and upwards. I'm not saying that younger people can't watch the show. I'm saying it is designed for mature people. Why? Because there is very little for us. Everything that you see, all the chat shows that you see going on, they're all based on younger people, what they say, what they want, what they're doing. But there's hardly anything for us as older, more mature. And this is the time for us to make roots, to say, actually, these are the mistakes that I made coming up. And you can make them, but you don't have to.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? This is what this is about. This is about us finding solutions. I've got this big banner done, real talk, real situations, real solution. Listen, this is the backdrop because it never worked. It didn't work out right. Right? It didn't work out right. But why? I don't know. But it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, we have to come together and we've got to start communicating, and we've got to start being real with ourselves, because at the end of the day, when we play the game, it only destroys the younger ones, because they look to us and think, well, look at them, look at what they're doing. So we have to be really, really real in what we're saying and what we're doing and how we're moving forward. So, today has been an amazing day. It's International Women's Day, and you ladies are here and you are showing who you are and taking off the mask. And I think that every time we come on these platforms, we need to remove the mask, especially when we're talking about relationships, especially because all I'm seeing is, what are you bringing to the table? That's all I'm seeing. Is, what is it? Well, we're going to be talking about this in the coming weeks. Sorry, I have to go. Method carpet out. Anyway, if you're having sex with somebody, you should be able to walk away because of the agreement that you had before. All these kind of things, should and if you get pregnant, because the woman has the right to choose. This is the thing. Done my head in. because the woman it's her body, so she has the right to choose whether she has the baby or not. The man should have the right to say whether he pays or he doesn't. He supports the child or not. And my thing is, wear a condom. That's my thing. Anyway, but we're gonna hear the conversation, and we're gonna have conversation about the conversation that's been going on. And these are young people. And I think to myself, the world is in trouble.
Long time.
But the world is in trouble because we're not in place.
Yeah.
And some of us are behaving like we are 15. Some of us grown folk.
It's like people are trying to recapture their youth, isn't it? Like they've missed something.
You missed your boat. The time has gone. You have to live in your now. Hello. Live in your now. Listen, I have spent the majority of my life raising children. That was brought to me today. Somebody said that to me. They said, Yvonne, you know, you've spent most of your life raising children. And I said to myself, self, that's a true statement.
It is.
Because it's the truth. I had my son when I was 16. And so I had to grow. But do you know what? I have conversations with him now. If you don't want more children, put a bag on it. Hello. You know, we as men, women, young people, older people, we have to be honest, and we have to know that the choice that we make is ours. And how we navigate around that, it's like we were talking about self-love. If I don't love me, why should anybody outside of me love me? But no, sir, you have to love me to the capacity me love me to come and sit by my side, because I love me. I do. Yes, I know. We've been told the timekeeper is here, Mr. Tony Cox, who will be joining us in a few weeks' time. Listen, Tony's telling me, you're running over, love. You're running over. You didn't put the love on there.
Don't put the kettle on, love.
You put the tops there. You know, if you want my attention, Tony, you've got to put love at the end of it. All right, love? But Tony, we know, Tony, choices we make, Tony say. Thank you for being here, Tony. Lovely to see you. I'm sure you will be on panel back, giving your ideas. A few people have messaged me about you, Mr. Tony Cox, and asked, are you coming back? So there's no need for your head to get any bigger than what it is.
And keep your shirt on as well. Don't take your top off.
And keep your shirt on.
Love you long time.
He's like, Toby's like, behave. All right, love. All right. These two powerhouse women, you can get in contact with them. Their details are on the thread. If you would like to get a hold of them, find out more about what they're doing in the world and how they're playing in the world, do get in contact. Melissa, you are going to be speaking on what platform and when? Just give us an idea. You've got something coming up.
I have two this week. I have one that's going to be on Legrity TV. It's a TV show called That's What She Said. That is Friday at 2. And that's 2 Eastern time. So I don't know what that is in London, but and then I have another platform that I'm going to be speaking on. I'll put both links again on my Facebook page so people can go directly to that site. And that is it's about changing your mindset in overcoming obstacles is what that one's about. So
fantastic. Sheena, thank you for that, Melissa. Sheena, again, you got your body butters. What else is going on with you?
Right, so the next things that I will be introducing this year is the body oils, which is the again, natural body oils where they're like roll-on oils, so you can use them to, like, you know, if you're feeling a little bit hot and sweaty, you can just roll it into your sweaty areas. Just freshen up on the spot. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you have sweaty areas, you need the oils. And let me say this: the oils are very good. I got some oils at Christmas, and I use a little bit here. I'm like, when Sheila's talking, I'm just doing this. So you can see. Look how my skin's smooth like butter. Yes, and
Yeah. I must admit, my skin is very, very soft. Very, very soft.
I have to say that I endorse Sheena's products. I use them. My family use them, and no longer use Astral again. I haven't used Astral for over 2 years, and that is because I believe in Sheena's butters. So if you would like to purchase, go over to Sheena's website and do that. And for me, I will let you know that on the, what date is it? It is, we're in March now, aren't we? So on the 25th of March, I have the Speaking Made Easy free, and it's a free live training. So if you want to learn how to speak easily on a live stage or on a virtual stage like this, join the Speak Easy masterclass. There's some other relationship masterclass that's coming soon, which will be shortly after that, probably be the week after. I'm doing a relationship masterclass because why not? We're talking about relationships all of the time. See, Alric Thomas says silky smooth skin. I have very smooth skin, isn't it? It's so smooth you want to rub it, but you can't. Okay. You need permission to do that. Yes, you do. Anyway. So, and Tony says, I love the butter Sheena makes. Absolutely. So, we are all pushing, we are all saying, listen, those of you who are on my network, those of you beautiful mix.
Beautiful mess. If you go to missymartai.com, you'll see everything.
Absolutely. So that's a good book. I do have it somewhere. It's on my book. It's on my bookshelf. It's one of these books down here. I have it.
There it is.
There it is. I have the book. So if you fancy a good read and you're really struggling with yourself and, you want something that you can really read well, this is a good book to get. So again, for me, we have the Speak Easy coming up. We've got the R Retreat coming up in May. And guess what? We have an exclusive.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, we do. Oh, we have an exclusive. For those of you who like live music, I will be performing on June the 12th. It's my own gig. It's my own show. It's
awesome.
A live venue. I secured the venue today. It is local to me. Local to my family, should I say. And so it's going to be in Luton, the first one. I'm doing 3 gigs, one in Luton, one in Bedford, and one in London. So, Tony, I look forward to seeing you in London, if you don't want to come to Luton.
And I look forward to seeing you in Bedford.
Yes. I still need to find venues in London and Luton. So if you know of any venues that take on live music, please let me know. I'm really, really excited about doing something a little bit different. I normally just sing a song here and there, but I am going to be doing a full show with music, inspiration, motivation, and empowerment. So we're going to leave you on that note. We are over time. We're 20 minutes over. But you know what? It's the first show where we are bigging up International Women's Day. We've got 3 amazingly beautiful women on this thread. And so, ladies, Melissa, I want to thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And I will be having you back shortly. I will be, because we've got some things that we need to, sort out.
I'll get my sound figured out.
Okay. And hopefully we'll be back in Barbados next year. So for our story retreat, that would be awesome. And I'm hoping that Miss Sheena will be one of our speakers as well.
It does sound exciting.
It does. And you know me, I'm always about pulling what I see in you. And I see that you have a gift. And so I'm going to be pulling that speaker gift out of you, pulling more out of Melissa. Melissa's grown so much from the very first time we met. The way that you speak and how you articulate yourself has grown so much. I'm so proud of you both. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep aspiring to go higher and higher and grow your speaking based business. Grow what you're doing, and always keep in touch. And there will always be a place here on this platform for you. So I'm just saying good night. Thank you everybody for listening to the show. We know that it's look at that. Alaric says Jamaica could do with someone like you. Listen, I'm going to be talking to you shortly because I am a Jamaican, you know. Well, I'm a Jamaican. Yeah, that's what I am. My parents are Jamaican. I'm not from Barbados, but I have friends in Barbados. So, Alaric, I will be talking to you because this needs to go to everywhere. Our story needs to be a global movement. A global movement for women to help them move forward, to help them to have a voice, to help them to have a voice of freedom. And so, without further ado, guys, I'm gone tonight. Thank you so much for being here. And we will be back next week between the hours of 9 and 10. We will yes, we will next week. But thank you so much for joining us. Do tell your friends, do tell your family, do tell your frenemies that this show is going on. We need the support. Trust me, guys, when I say we need to get the numbers up. Should I say this? We have had interest from external big TV productions. And the only thing that is stopping us, the only thing that's standing in our way is the numbers. So I need you, and I'm going to be very transparent right now. I need you to help me to make this happen. And that is telling your friends and supporting this 100%. That's what it needs. So we want to go mainstream TV. That's what we want to do. And if we want to do that, I'm going to need your help. So I'm asking you tonight, and I'll be asking you every week for your help. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your frenemies, log on, go onto YouTube, log on, and put your comments in. And that's what we need. But for now, guys, thank you so much for tonight. We'll be back next Tuesday between the hours of 9 and 10 for more on Michelle. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Say bye, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Here we go. Okay, here we go. And here